Here's how AEW's Britt Baker would fit into the WWE ecosystem. I believe that she can be a top-tier star. Now, let's set the stage before we break everything down. And I have several keys, about 7. Britt Baker is currently on the outs with AEW. She has not been used in multiple months. Reportedly, AEW CEO Tony Khan is quote-unquote fed up with her due to backstage issues. She is not well received within the AEW locker room and has nothing to do with Adam Cole. I believe whenever her deal is up, which is about a year and a half, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, I think she would be a brilliant hire by WWE. I think she fits better into the WWE system. She is a more sports entertainer in terms of character and promo work that is head and above shoulders better than what she can present inside of the ring, although she is still very good. And of course, you have to get around her dentistry career as well. That's another hiccup, but I think they can work around it because she has stated in past interviews that she is not accepting new clients and she only works with certain talents or certain clients. Now, so with that being said, I think it's time that we get into it, because if Britt Baker were to make the jump to WWE, it would undoubtedly be one of the most talked about moves in pro wrestling. As one of AEW's original stars and standouts in the women's division of AEW, Britt Baker brings a level of charisma, skill, and star power that would seamlessly integrate into WWE's landscape. Now, here's how she would fit into WWE and what she can bring to it. So, we're going to rank it from 7 to 1. Starting at number 7, it is merchandise and marketing opportunities. Baker's established DMD brand is highly marketable, and WWE would no doubt capitalize on this existing catchphrase, signature look, and merchandise appeal, introducing new products tailored to her WWE persona. Additionally, Britt Baker's real-life career as a dentist could be a unique marketing angle that WWE could leverage, similar to how they used wrestlers' personal stories to build up. Number 6, elevating WWE's women's division. Britt Baker's proven ability to carry storylines, cut compelling promos, and deliver in-ring excellence which straightens WWE's women's division in 2025. Her arrival could include this and help the company. Number 1, create fresh, high-stakes rivalries with top stars. Number 2, give underutilized talents a chance to work with a seasoned performer, helping them elevate to the next level. And number 3, reinforce WWE's ongoing efforts to spotlight women's wrestling as a marquee. Number 5, attraction. Placement across brands. Whether it's Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, Britt Baker could debut immediately as a main roster, main event type talent. Challenge for the Women's World Championship, challenging for the Women's Championship, challenging for the NXT Women's Championships. Her established name and credibility ensures that she wouldn't need a long, drawn-out build-up to contend for top-tier titles. She would be brought in, and I think she'd be well utilized there. If they did not want to send her straight to the main roster, obviously NXT is the choice, because WWE could send her to NXT to shake up a very thriving women's division. Think about Britt Baker versus Roxanne Perez, Julia, Stephanie Valker, and many, many more. That would help elevate the brand and create more of a bridge gap between NXT and the main roster. Number 4, it is faction wars. She could align or create a faction in WWE clashing with established stars and established groups like Damage Control, or forging a new alliance with the rising stars of NXT. How about her bringing in a group of NXTs with her, NXT talent with her, creating a new faction, therefore getting herself over, getting other talent over, and helping build it. Because if you look at both Raw and SmackDown, they do need some more women up on those rosters, especially now that SmackDown is 3 hours at least through June, and Raw is back to 3 hours or 2.5 hours. So I would certainly say that would be an interesting that write plot. Themselves. Baker's arrival in WWE would be a goldmine of storytelling, offering fresh rivalries and intriguing angles. Her underdog outsider type character, that would be interesting. WWE could frame Baker as a former AEW star fighting to prove that she belongs in the quote-unquote big leagues. This underdog narrative could resonate with fans while highlighting her journey to the top of the industry in pro wrestling. There's also the dynamic or dominant takeover that they could go with. Alternatively, Baker could arrive as a cocky heel claiming to be wrestling's true role model, immediately targeting Bailey, because that's her past nickname. Or she could just go in there and say, I'm better than you, and you know it without saying it and stealing MJF's catchphrase. Number 2, dream matches.
It's an idea.
We all know with Britt Baker, she is going to have a lot of dream matches on deck. WWE's women's division is absolutely stacked with world-class talents, offering endless possibilities for high-profile matchups that fans would love to see. Britt Baker versus Becky Lynch, two of wrestling's most charismatic stars, would deliver must-see promos in hard-hitting matches. How about Britt Baker versus Charlotte Flair, something in which Charlotte has, or Britt Baker has stated that she would be interested in, a clash of egos, and the fact of two top-tier stars and two different promotions now colliding. You have Britt Baker versus Rhea Ripley. Baker's technical ability versus Ripley's raw power would be a perfect blend of styles. You also have Britt Baker versus Bailey. Bailey, a wit and charm against Baker's role model persona, would make for a compelling rivalry. You also have her against Bianca Belair. You have her against Liv Morgan. You have her against a dream match in which AEW did not book, even though they had the opportunity, which is Britt Baker versus Jade Cargill. That would be an excellent contest as well. There's many attributes in which you can get across here. There's many avenues and storyline directions that you can get to. And finally, at number 1,
very interesting,
the immediate impact as a top heel or babyface. Britt Baker's DMD persona is already fully formed, making her one of the more rare talents that doesn't need reinvention to thrive in WWE. Her ability to work as both a vicious heel and a beloved babyface gives WWE a range of options for her character. As a heel, Baker could step into a natural rivalry with top stars like Becky Lynch, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Bailey, using her sharp promos and in-ring psychology to position herself as a credible threat. And on the flip side of things, you could bring her as a babyface. If WWE leans into a journey as a trailblazer in AEW, Britt Baker could arrive as the underdog fan favorite, therefore getting dream matches with Charlotte Flair, with top-tier heels in that way. I know that we have a long way to go. I know that we still have at least a year and a half. Now, keep in mind, when Fightful Select says she has a year and a half on her contract, you have to keep in mind that does not include time missed due to injury. They could tack on a ton of time to her contract. That is something in which you have got to understand. That is something in which you have got to understand because it is so important. So while she may have a year and a half on her deal right now, that doesn't mean that it's just a year and a half. She could have 2 years. She could have 2.5 years. You don't know. I think she's going to be on ice for the rest of her tenure in AEW. Now, reports have said that, hey, if Tony Khan feels like he needs a little bit of star power in the AEW women's division, then they'll bring her back. But at the end of the day, I don't see them bringing her back anytime soon, and nothing has indicated that they're going to do so either.